I'm Wendy O. Williams, the, so-called queen of shock rock. But let me tell you, being royalty ain't all it's cracked up to be. It's a wild ride, full of highs and lows, and it ain't for the faint of heart. Before all that, I was just a kid from Webster, New York. Restless, wild, looking for something. Anything to set me free. I did it all, man. Sailing boats in the Caribbean, selling crafts in Europe. Even a stint as a stripper in Times Square. Life was my teacher, and I was one hell of a student. New York City was where it all changed. I met Rod Swenson, and together we created the Plasmatics. It was like lighting a match in a room full of dynamite. The city was ready for something new, something shocking, and we were more than happy to deliver. Rod was more than just a manager. He was a visionary, a collaborator, and the brains behind our madness. Our first gig? CBGB's 1978. The moment I walked on stage, half naked and ready to raise hell, I knew this was my calling. Are you ready to fucking rock? We weren't just a band. We were a fucking spectacle. Chainsaws, sledgehammers, explosions. We used it all. It wasn't about destruction. It was about waking people up, shocking them out of their comfortable little lives. We rode that wave of shock and awe for years. Top of the world, ma. But you know what they say about burning twice as bright. In the end, I found my peace here, away from the noise. But let me tell you, I wouldn't trade those wild years for anything. They were a hell of a ride. Our shows, pure chaos, smashing TVs, blowing up cars. It was art, man, dangerous, beautiful art. But not everyone saw it that way. To some, I was a menace, a threat to decency. Can you believe that shit? Don't get me wrong, I loved the music. Collaborating with Lemmy, Gene Simmons, those were the highs. But the lows, they were lower than you can imagine. Depression, anxiety, it was all there, hidden behind the pyrotechnics. By the 90s, I was done. Burnt out. When I walked away from it all, I thought I'd find peace. But the silence, it was deafening. Rod and I, we moved to Connecticut. Tried to live a quiet life. Nature, animals, all that shit. It was beautiful, but... How do you go from blowing up cars on stage to planting tomatoes? The contrast was... Fuck, it was unbearable. April 6th, 1998. My last act of rebellion. My final fuck you to a world that never quite understood. Looking back now, I see the impact I had. The doors I kicked open for women in rock. The boundaries I obliterated. To all the misfits, the rebels, the shock rockers out there. Keep pushing. Keep making noise. The world needs you. And remember, the Queen is always watching. Rock on, motherfuckers.